All right, we are live. Welcome to Rippaverse NRT. I'm joined with TheBoorad and Ronin. What's up, guys?
What up?
What up?
Oh, nothing much. Just ready to talk about some isom.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
finally.
Yeah, now that Ronin finally read it,
You
jeez.
shut your mouth. I was waiting for it to finally show up today, and then it did.
Dude, you're the lucky one though. You were able to bust out the money cannon and throw $500
For
at
real,
it, so
like
for that I'm pretty jealous. So I'll keep quiet.
See, if I wanted to, well, not that I wanted to, but if I had the funds to, I would have fucking thrown out $5,000 and get myself canonized. That's how invested I am in this guy and what he's doing now, man. I'm really liking it.
I'm right there with you. It's pretty cool that the Vigilant and a Rumfey got into that.
Mm-hmm.
very cool.
Definitely. But where do you guys want to start off with this book? Because there's actually a whole hell of a lot to talk about with it. It's fantastic.
I was thinking we could start right at page 1.
Page 1.
Just go through the entire 96-page thing, man.
Yes.
That I think we should all get our little booksy doos here so we can all follow along.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and do that right now. Put my cover A back in the plastic. I decided to use cover A to read. Cover B was just too perfect for me to open up. And I didn't bother opening
Real
up
nerdy
the sign
review.
points at
What's
all
up,
either.
man?
I left those in the plastic.
Real nerdy review. What's up?
What up, real nerdy?
Did I put spoiler in the title? Can anybody tell me if I put spoiler in the title?
The title of the video says isom #1 review and discussion with TheBoorad. You forgot to throw my name in there because you thought I wouldn't read it.
I didn't know you was gonna be here. So. Which
Something I actually do want to comment on, and I know plenty of people have actually shared this page in the comic, but it was the intro note that Eric decided to write, where he talks about how, as a comic book fan himself, he's just upset over how the industry is nowadays, and decided that he wanted to put his own hat into the ring.
Yeah.
He wanted to make something that a lot of people would love, and I could definitely tell that this is coming from a place of not just genuine care, but like this is definitely coming from a place of absolute love for the medium.
Yeah, it really shows what his intent is with this book.
Mm-hmm.
He isn't doing it just to release it. He's doing it to actively try to make some change. And going through on this first page here and actually explaining why he's doing it, I think is a big move towards actually trying to officially change the culture.
Definitely.
Rather than just going, hey, here's my book, buy it because I'm Eric July. No, it's like, dude, there's a fundamental problem right now with this industry. And I want to be, rather than sitting on the sidelines, sitting there complaining about it, I'd rather, make something myself and try to change it. So yeah, I have to agree. That's a pretty cool note.
Yes.
Put in here.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So, but before we actually begin this whole thing, though, if you're in the chat right now, post which cover you got. I just want to see which cover people picked, because this goes to a theory that I had earlier.
That Yaira is Bay.
Well, yes, of course, but I mean, I am now a Yaira fan. Okay, because of this book, I'm a Yaira fan now.
I never thought I'd see the day, garbage.
Well, everybody here knows I like Mean Girls. So yes, heavy spoilers for isom in this review here, guys. So we're going to be reviewing, we're going to be discussing everything involving this book.
So fair warning, if you haven't read isom #1 yet, I would not suggest you being here unless you don't care about spoilers.
Yes.
And even then, I'm still telling you, please actually do read this because it is good.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Okay. So let's start off with again the first page of the book. This right here, this opening right here to the book, it sets it up pretty well for a little bit of isom that you don't even know going in. Like, with him and the little girl. It sets up a little bit in the future of the book.
Yep.
It's not even an important part of the fucking comic, but Eric wanted to include that as the first page. Right? As the first actual page, he included that. And there's a reason for it. But going into the story part of it, you got... I'm guessing they're cops talking about the superheroes. Like either cops or politicians or cops talking to a politician. It looks
These
like.
are cops. Yeah,
I think they're like
these are definitely cops.
Yeah. And they're setting up everything about like the heroes, about how like this town specifically has a super problem.
Yep.
Okay. Like, not every town in the world has this problem. It's specific. I mean, they're all over the world, but specifically, this town has a problem with them. Like a population problem with them. I'm assuming. The book doesn't tell you exactly that much, but it does say that if you read the cards, it tells you a lot about those.
Oh, God. Actually, speaking of the cards, just a quick side note kind of thing. I was reading through the cards.
Don't spoil anything.
No, I'm not spoiling anything yet. But
good.
I got an interesting theory regarding the cards that really says a whole lot about what's actually happening to the world in the Rippaverse. I don't just mean like, oh, there's these other characters and oh, there's, potentially beings from other worlds and whatnot. I'm talking about like the actual potentially socio-political landscape of the Rippaverse and everything, which I'm just thinking, oh my God, this is opening up a whole new can of worms that I didn't expect. But some really good stuff that once I actually read through the Dokuma cards, I'm like, oh my God, this is good. This is really good.
Yeah, I can't wait to get those freaking cards, man. I still haven't heard any word on my second order yet, and it's driving me nuts. So,
oh man,
it's killing me.
Yeah. So anyway, they start talking about. They mention masked weirdos, but there's only one hero that wears a mask so far. Right, so I'm hoping that there's some characters with some damn masks coming in the future. You know
what's funny though? If you listen to the dialect he's using, this is literally Eric talking.
Oh yeah.
This is like the best thing I like about this book so far. It's like this is literally Eric talking.
Look, okay, so like the cop. Have you seen the chick with the red hair? She could do some things to me, right?
Yeah. I saw that.
All right. But I do appreciate it because that's how real people talk.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's not some bullshit like narrative, like them trying to over-explain the situation or what's going on. They're talking about superheroes in town, but
how many of us like talk about the things that we'd want Yaira to do to us? Like seriously.
Oh, dude.
I wondered who. I've read this one time. Who's the red-haired chick? Did we see a red-haired chick in this book?
No, as far as I'm concerned, no, we haven't.
Okay, I want to know.
Actually,
we'll know soon enough.
Hold on a second. We might have actually.
Let me see here. I'll flip to it since we're on the subject of the red-haired chick.
I think
we had a blonde-haired chick. We had a blonde-haired chick, and then I know we had two brunettes. I know that. Which I'm actually surprised about. There was a third female in this that was introduced. I didn't think that was going to be the case. Well, sorry, fourth.
That's the one that I think I'm talking about. The two that were sitting in the club, the boy and the girl. I think she was a redhead, wasn't she?
That's what I'm looking for right now. I'm flipping.
I remember.
Let's see.
Where's that page again? I'm trying to look for it. Nope. That's before that.
Because there were, you can't tell. It looks like it's black with like red highlights.
Purple actually.
Purple highlights. Purple.
Yes.
Okay. So that's not even the red-haired chick.
Has that purple hair coloring.
That's not even the red-haired chick. I want to know who the redhead is now. Like
chick with red hair, but she'll probably be introduced in a later issue, if anything.
Oh yeah, probably. All right,
and you see something. Darkish and I were talking a little bit before the stream started, and this is what I like about not having the context around the characters. It's like, okay, who the hell is this redheaded chick all of a sudden? Like, what are they people talking about? It really makes me want to like dive into the rest of the story to find out who these characters are. Yep. That's why I don't see, having Alpha Core or Yaira in here not as much as like a really good thing. It kind of just shows they're here. You might not know anything about them, but they are here, and soon you will learn something about them. Right. I just really find that aspect of it fascinating.
Actually, speaking of, I remember like in the beginning pages here when the police sergeant gets that info from the one officer. She's just like, she's back, and it's like, oh god, are they talking about? What are they talking about exactly? And then of course, later onwards, we see that it's Yaira's going up like a crazy ex-girlfriend.
Yaira wrecks
icicles and everything.
Okay, Yaira wrecks every fucking body in this book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
if you thought Yaira, anybody who thought the Alpha Core looked badass, no, Yaira dogs them out.
They ain't got shit on Yaira.
Like
dude.
she takes all three of them like they ain't shit.
Avery wasn't even trying to fight her either, and she decimates him.
That is,
dude. Smashes.
That is great. Oh, that is hilarious.
Just take the whole idea of Step on Me Senpai to a whole new level.
Yes. All right. So Yaira's got super speed. She's got her ice powers.
Yes.
And whenever she uses her powers, apparently, it appears on her body. That's where the blue hair and the blue eyes come from.
Right.
Yep.
So,
but you know what though? We kind of don't really know if that's ice powers or not.
Well,
I don't think that's ice powers.
When it hits that dude in the face, it's ice. That is solid ice. Yeah, that's solid ice coming from her fingers. But right here, guys, if y'all can see that, like, I don't know if y'all can see it well because of the camera, but that's awesome. Yaira destroys Isom in their first encounter. Like the Alpha Core don't even fight Isom, and I was a little disappointed in that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they were after him.
Yeah.
Really. Braxwell tries to land a hit.
Well,
he does land a hit, but then after that, she bounces back and just beats the hell out of them.
Yaira beats their asses, and
it's definitely a one-sided fight.
It is. And I love this. Okay, so he's on the taxi, right? He's got his ass beat, and then there's the fucking ad for Lady Rippa stuff.
Did you get your ass beat by Yaira and you need some new jewelry? Buy from my wife's store.
I love it, even though it's jarring as hell. I love it.
Wait, actually, just real quick, just show that page one more time with Avery beat falling and the ad. Okay, I want this settled right now. I know we settled this 100 times already with plenty of other tweets before. The layering, not layering, what's the word I'm looking for? The formatting for the pages were done right. So, all y'all haters, you shut your fucking mouths.
What they did was, in order to show that, they took the picture of the ad at a very specific angle to show that
it was covered. I know.
That it was off.
That it was not formatted.
I said that in my video, and I'm like, dude, y'all are fucking stupid.
Yes.
Just go away, please.
These are slimy motherfuckers.
I would suggest in the future, if anybody wants to listen to me working over at Rippaverse, please put ads at the back of the book or the front of the book. That's all. That's it. That's my only complaint about the ad is just its location in the book.
You know what though? I personally wouldn't put it past Eric to intentionally do that to piss people off.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me at all. Like wherever you want to put the ads if you're gonna put ads in it.
Right.
But I'm not too bothered by the ads being in the middle of the pages. I did like I said a long time ago. I know I read one issue of Spider-Man, like an older one, and it had like ads for fucking children's snacks and whatnot in the middle of it. It was like, oh, okay, well, this is interesting. So him putting ads in the middle of the comics kind of reminded me of when I read that. So it was like, all right, this feels like a legitimate comic, like a genuine comic.
But yeah, right there is the ice hitting the dude in the forehead.
Yep.
Like
it's a solid object.
It's
and when
a
it hits
solid
him, you see
ice.
that blood
Well, it just
and everything's
all right. All right. I personally don't think it's ice, man. I really don't. I think it's some sort of like a solidified light energy or
I mean,
something
it could be.
using.
It could be, but
Perhaps
It's really hard to tell.
I mean, maybe, but it's just that like most of the time you don't see light-based attacks be solidified to that degree where it would cause like physical damage. Maybe burn marks, I guess you could say, but physical damage to that degree where you would shed blood, I'm not too sure.
Ronin,
but...
have you not played Destiny 2?
No, I haven't. So
come on. Oh
there you
wow.
But anyway,
Wow.
so she's super strong. Yeah,
Yes.
super fucking strong.
Yes.
She is super fast.
Yep.
Mhm.
And she got energy and probably ice attack, energy attack, whatever. She's got a range attack. Alright, that she does not have to even fucking touch you, and she's gonna whoop your ass with. Alright.
Yep.
And proceeds to do that. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, just proceeds to beat every motherfucker she gets her hands on.
Oh yeah.
Like, they say in the first page of the book that Alpha Core hadn't been seen for months, and then she shows up. Right? Alpha Core shows up, and they get their asses handed to them. It is a one-sided fight. Like,
Perfect.
the Viper chick has a decent shot, but still does not compare. Right?
I mean, it seems like in that panel, it seems just like Yaira like noticed that she was coming and just was like, "Oh!" Just went around her. She just goes flying, and then Brian had to go in and like rescue her since he can fly and shit.
Yep.
Oh, that's another thing too. We have Braxwell, Brian Solari, and Ingrid Valdez is Alpha Core.
Yes.
Three members of the Alpha Core.
So,
and the only fucking thing that any of them say is, "We figured it was you."
you kicked our asses once. You did it again. God damn it.
You were told not to come back. That's the only thing that the Alpha Core says.
Yes.
At all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Meanwhile, Isom is going into the club and.
Well, we'll back it up a little bit.
Back it up.
He got the call from his sister Altona
Yeah.
to go and investigate Jasmine, the intern, because she's gone missing, even though she was like really excited about this internship. So Altona calls Avery to go investigate because Jasmine might have gotten involved with Darren Fontano.
Yeah.
And that's where we end up with Avery going to Club Merc.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And all right, so anyway, after meeting with Fontano and all that, a fight breaks out. Not because of Jasmine, but because Fontano decides to talk to Isom like he's a child, basically. Just talks down to him. And that's why the fight breaks out, because Isom is just... He's arrogant. He is a very arrogant character in the beginning.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That
Right.
was
cocky, arrogant,
Like,
very prideful.
He thinks he can beat anybody's ass who steps up to him, because
until he steps with Yaira.
Until he steps with... I mean, like...
Well, no. First it was Santuan. First he steps up with Santuan.
Yeah.
but
Gets his ass beat.
Yeah, that's just because he wasn't expecting... Like, I don't think Isom has ever fought another soup.
I disagree with that.
No, I would actually disagree on that.
And I think, maybe because of a fight he got into with another Except that he's like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, and he hung up the suit. And he hasn't trained in a while, so when he stepped up to Santuan, he kind of was off guard, and he wasn't really up to snuff.
So here's something that makes me think that he has fought Excepts before. So you guys remember the very first two pages, right? Where you see the first page where Isom is fighting, who knows what they are, and then there's a page with him and Bazzy is his niece and everything.
Yes.
Something tells me these two pages are glimpses into the past before the beginning of this. of this first issue. These are mere glimpses into the past, if anything. This is, Avery during his time as Isom before, first time around, and then this is just a little bit of him having retired afterwards.
All right.
Which means story is now...
Looking at this page, looking at this first picture, right? Okay.
Yes.
They're all the same guy. He's fighting a multiple man. They're all the same guy. Okay, so I'm with you there now, Ronin.
Yep, okay.
Wow, I didn't even notice that.
He is fighting, they are all the same guy. They can a dude that can multiply. Okay, alright.
I was thinking his dudes wearing the same armor, but that could be it too. Yeah,
no, they all got the same face, dude. Like,
they do.
Look at it. The two that you can see the face clearly on, other than the one other than the one he's knocking out right there, they all have those two have the same face. The third one over there in the top corner, he's got the same face too. It's just drawn at a different angle.
Right.
So there's three of them with the same face, and an artist don't make that mistake. A pro artist don't make that mistake to draw the same face on three different characters.
So this is probably another freaking except that we don't know of.
Yes, it's another
God
except.
Damn it!
Except that can clone himself, man.
Yeah.
God, this is getting intense.
Okay, all right.
But so by the time that Avery's deciding to meet up with Fontano and find out what's going on with Jasmine, obviously Fontano's acting like a little baby gangster, which is funny because he himself's trying to talk shit about baby gangsters. And he's up over here on Club Merc trying to act like one. And basically, he's telling Avery.
The prophecy's fulfilled.
He's just telling Avery that, just to stay out of his business. Avery's not taking that for an answer. He beats his little goons over here. And lo and behold, Santuan comes in and beats his ass down.
We got to show this because he straight up murders that dude. Like,
I think
straight
he does,
up.
Oh, yeah. Shit was...
The way he punches him through, like, in his stomach and everything.
He's punching him in the heart.
Yeah, dude, it literally looks like he exploded his fucking heart, dude.
Yes.
And if you look on the next panel after, you see the aftermath of there's blood all over the ground.
Yeah.
The dude's just kind of like dead.
that dude is dead.
Yeah,
I mean,
he ain't coming back.
He is.
He just killed a man.
Yeah, I mean, Isom don't give a shit. He will kill a motherfucker. All right. He will kill a motherfucker with another motherfucker. Okay.
Oh God.
It's like it reminds me of that scene from Hancock when Hancock's in prison. And he's like, "I will take your head and shove it up his ass."
Yeah.
Like Isom's just like, bro, you make fun of me, bro, you're dead.
If you're planning on pulling out your pistols, I suggest you do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
So, but yeah, it looks like Isom beats the shit out of Darren's goons, and he bumps into Santuan, and he's like, "What, Darren? You're hiring fucking exceps now?" He's like, "Bruh, if the money's good."
Yeah.
And Santuan just goes straight into town and fucking does a 619 on his ass.
Fucking
just takes him.
Fucking suplex right there.
Right there.
I mean,
dude.
just that fucking
completely
suplex.
Body slams him, destroys him. Oh God, it was brutal.
Oh yeah. Just
fucking takes him, knocks him out a couple times, smacks him across the face.
He beats Isom as bad as Isom beats him other guys.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is.
And then he just chucks him out of Club Merc like he's fucking trash.
Yeah,
like nothing to him, dude.
And throws him directly into Yaira.
Into Yaira, yeah.
You know what? You know what's really funny about that is I was actually talking to my friend at work about that since he bought the book too, and he was like, this is a pretty grounded story, and having that moment where Isom and Yaira bump into each other kind of reminded him that he was reading a comic book. Like, what are the odds that Santuan throws this motherfucker half a mile
into another super fight?
Into a fucking another super fight, man. It's like, and it kind of brings you back out to like, okay, I'm not reading an actual story here. This is a comic book. And so I really like that.
I love that it's just a big misunderstanding that gets them into a fight. Right, and he's not even hurt from that. Like, Isom is not even hurt from Santuan.
No, not even.
He gets
close, not
up.
even
He
close.
gets up and he fights Yaira. You know, calls her an idiot in his head. And then she takes it fucking serious.
Oh, yeah.
And she just beats his ass from there on, and then picks him up and throws him onto a taxi.
Yes, just
Okay.
fucking by
Bodies
his
him.
neck, dude.
Yeah.
By his neck, like that is personal.
And
Like if you're gonna fucking pick someone up and you do it by their neck, you mean business, man. That's no joke.
This fight scene though does answer the question like whether Isom and Yaira knew each other, and it looks like they didn't. I don't think they'd ever encountered each other at all. This is probably their first encounter.
Yeah,
Right.
It's definitely their 1st encounter. So all the crazy ex-girlfriend theories are out the window.
Yeah, you and Quirky got it wrong.
I got it wrong.
Unfortunately.
I got it wrong, but I did get one thing right about her.
What's that?
I can't tell you because you don't have.
She's
the cards.
crazy as fuck.
That. But I can't tell you because you haven't seen the cards.
Yep.
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
I know
man.
what you're talking about, Darkish.
So I was right about I was right about one thing concerning her.
That came as a shock to me when I found out about it.
But Quirky might be right about the Viper chick being a good girl
Yes.
because she's a cop.
Ooh.
She's a super cop.
Yes, and that's
Alpha
another
Corps are not
theory
bad
that
guys.
I knew was right. That's another theory I knew was going to be right. Alpha Corps are state-sanctioned super police.
That's kind of what the
There you go.
overall consensus seems to be.
State sanctioned does not mean good guys. I'm saying they're good guys. They are 100% good guys.
All right.
Doesn't matter what they look like. They're good guys. They are like the Justice League of this world so far.
Yep.
You know,
Oh, that's good.
they show up and they're stopping super criminals that the regular people can't deal with. That's why why Yaira calls them super cops.
You know what's the vibe I get from the leader of the Alpha Corps, Brian? Superman. I feel that he's essentially Superman.
Yeah, he's a Superman.
When he comes in on the scene, he's Superman.
The
it's really cool.
Ingrid is a Wonder Woman type. She's Wonder Woman type. I'm not gonna say she's Wonder Woman. She uses the whips like lasso, you know.
Yes.
Right.
But she is more of a Wonder Woman. She can fly too.
Yes.
She can fly.
Yeah.
All three of them can fly.
No, I don't.
No, they
I don't
can't
think
actually.
Ingrid can.
Let's
I don't
see.
think Ingrid, because if you see, she has to hang on to Brian in order
Well,
to stay up.
no, that's because he caught her. He caught her after Yaira punked her ass out. Here she's flying up towards Yaira. Right in this panel right here, she's flying upwards.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right.
She's actually flying. So
Okay.
and there she is right there flying with Yaira doing the Superman.
Oh, there we go.
So
okay.
she
Could it
can
perhaps-
fly.
Could it perhaps be that she is flying, or maybe she's using the whips to try and grab onto Yaira?
That could be like a Spider-Man-esque thing.
It's exactly what I was thinking. Is that she's using the whips for not just combat but traversal as well. That could very well also be the case too.
I mean, maybe, but I don't see you taking that risk if you don't think you can handle it, right? I just don't see it would be Brian going after her instead of she pulls herself up, sure, but she is definitely flying in that image. I mean,
Right,
it may be because of the angles and stuff, but.
And actually, if you look to it, looks like her left hand whip is kind of almost wrapped around Yaira.
Yeah, it's pulling up.
So she could have used that to kind of wrap around her and pull herself towards Yaira or something. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but okay, so if she couldn't fly, then she wouldn't have tried the Superman punch. I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense that she's trying a Superman punch, unless she may have some Spider-Man like powers. You know, something that helps her with that. But if she falls, it's over for her. I mean, essentially, unless she's got some kind of reflexes or something because he catches her because Yaira blasts her in the back. Yeah. You know?
Yep.
So he catches her and she's holding on to him because of that reason. But I do think she can fly until. Okay, well, I haven't read all the cards. I'm not gonna lie. I only read.
Yep. I didn't want to say that because Boorad didn't get the cards, but the cards do say that Ingrid cannot fly.
Oh well, she's got some
Oh,
Spider-Man.
really?
She's got some Spider-Man powers then.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Because the cards do say that she uses her whips not just for combat, she uses for traversal as well. So that's
Okay. So she's
exact
swings
thing that
with
I
them.
thought.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's what I was thinking. That
Okay.
she would use them to swing, to try and reach other places, use them to fight and everything. That's what I thought Ingrid could do with them. Reminds me of the string type weapon that one chick uses. Oh, the monowire that Lucy uses in Edge Runners. Yeah. I get a similar vibe to it as well.
Well, you ain't swinging with no monowire.
No, yeah, obviously. You cutting people up with the monowire, but you ain't swinging.
Like, Yaira puts Isom in the hospital.
Yep.
And I really like too. Just one more thing, with the internal monologue of Avery. I really like how sarcastic it is. He says, "This one is going to be tough. I've trained my body to do things people like me shouldn't be able to do. Flying ain't one of them."
And see, that's very telling right there. That is very telling. That he's not actually an accept.
He could be like a One Punch Man character.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, maybe.
In the when he's in the hospital, they mention a bracelet around his leg,
right?
Around his ankle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that it's more of a totem type power than it is like being. He's closer related to Norfolka than he is the Accepts. I'm thinking. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Which we'll talk about. We'll talk about them a little bit later.
This is getting us spicy.
Yeah. So then it goes into a scene where it's back at Avery's farm, and there's his the guy who's in charge of it is talking to some of them. He's got two younger guys helping him. He offers them some overtime, basically, if they want it. And one guy's like, "Nah, I gotta go to a party." And then the other guy's like, "Yeah, I'll stay and help." Mm-hmm. And he's like, "You'll replace my boss. We need someone to replace our boss." So
yeah. And you know what? Here's one of the issues I kind of had with the writing a little bit in here, is during this scene, where the two are talking. As you're reading through, you get a sense that they're in the South, right? Obviously, they're in Texas, but some of it's written as if they are Texans and they have the Southern twang to their voice. And then there's other bubbles where it kind of breaks that, and they sound like super intelligent, very properly spoken people.
What are you trying?
And it kind of flip.
What are you trying to say there, Boorad?
No, hey, I've already called that. I'm not saying they're dumb. That's not what I'm saying.
What are you trying to say there, Boorad?
It's racist! But no, it's just a little bit of a disconnect, because it's like, okay, is this a Southern person who works on a ranch, or is this someone from the North who moved south to work on the ranch? I mean, it's just a little bit of a disconnect that I have. Like here, thanks, it's been a crazy year. Sam moved both my mother and daughter to the ranch. That's why I'm always cleaning you out. More mouths to feed, among other things. Well, we've got plenty, especially when you pay ahead of time. To me, that sounds like he's saying that in a Southern style accent.
Yeah,
but
so
when you...
So it's a common thing. It's a common thing in comic books to try to write a Southern accent and do it incorrectly. Okay. I'll say this: you do it incorrectly most of the time. If you ever read Rogue from X-Men, it's a fucking terrible accent. I'll say it. It sounds better being recorded, like somebody actually saying the words, than it does reading it.
Right.
Because you're like, this is one of my pet peeves about writing a Southern accent, is they write I as AH. Okay? Like, I. Okay?
Right.
Ain't gonna do this. Right? Alright, so you got super thick Southern accents, and then you got, I mean, I know that I sound Southern. I know I have a Southern
Very
twang.
Southern.
I'm not that Southern. I'm not that my voice is not that Southern as bad as it can get. Okay, I actually use correct pronunciation most of the time, unless I'm like tongue tied. But I try to use correct pronunciation with most things. So I will say this about that is it's actually done really well. Okay. For somebody writing a Southern accent, especially a Texan accent.
Right.
Because a Texan accent is not the same as an Alabama accent.
Right. Yeah.
An Alabama accent is not the same as a Mississippi accent. Believe it or not.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But we've all got different fucking accents.
Yeah, of course. It's like the Northerners too. You got the Northeasterns and you got the Northwesterners. But then if you look at that next panel over, the rancher guy, he just sounds like a normal guy. You guys have a lot of resources. Why are you giving us so much business anyway? I mean, it just sounds like he went from a Southern style Texan accent to like like how I speak.
Yeah,
that's like a little bit of the disconnect.
And it's somewhere in between. Okay, that's why it's somewhere in between. So we could theorize all day about where this dude is from, but
sure,
because like the way I'm talking to you guys right now is not the way I talk at work. It's coding yourself. It's what it
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard that term before, where you code yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
According to who you're around. So, like, when I'm at work, I'm surrounded by fucking rednecks.
Oh, God.
Okay. So, my southern accent that you're hearing now goes a little deeper. It goes a little more southern when I'm talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you talk like you're from somewhere else, they don't know what to think about you. You know? Yeah. And then it don't go that bad as bad as I just did, but it does go.
Right.
I got more of a twang when I'm at work dealing with people because I deal with rednecks all day.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I think I get what you're saying, because as a Hispanic dude myself, like whenever I try and speak Spanish, I do still have this sort of subtle accent that reveals to people, oh, this guy speaks Spanish, but he wasn't born in any Hispanic country. He was born here in the States. English is his first language. So I get what you're saying by that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and then Brandon's got a really good theory right there for him. The rancher's not from Earth.
He's an alien. He's actually part of he's actually the main god, the Norfolkans. Norfolk actually goes under or something.
I want a Norfolk band shirt, damn it.
That'd be awesome.
I actually do. I actually do too now.
Actually, Andrew sent out a survey to everybody.
Yes.
So if y'all get that survey and you want some merch, make sure you put that stuff on the merch. I did. I'm like, I want a Norfolk shirt. I want a Merc security shirt. I want a Merc club shirt. I want all this shit, dude.
What I'm wondering now is what kind of metal genre Norfolk is going to be, because they got a Viking dude,
okay,
and they got an African folklore dude. If it's not power metal, I'm going to be pissed.
They are fucking doom metal.
It's going to be butt rock.
Oh my god,
they are doom metal.
Yeah,
I'm calling doom it now that they're doom metal.
Gonna be butt
rock. Metal would be just as good too. I would love it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
Yes, I want an album. I want a fucking Norfolk album. That is what I want as merchandise, Eric. If you're watching this review, buddy, that's what we want. We want a doom metal album by Norfolk.
Right.
Or make it like melodic death metal too. I'll accept that as well. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. More gym music, bro.
All right.
Yes.
So, anyway, the doctor
actually just a side thing. Actually, I'm sorry. Quick, off topic kind of thing. When I was working out at the gym the past few days, all I've been doing was just listening to Lorna Shore. Lorna Shore is a fucking great melodic death metal band. So yeah, make more gym music, Eric. I want more gym music, man.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So they talk in the hospital. Avery basically escapes, but they mention the bracelet around his leg, that they couldn't take off. Okay. So that's what's leading me to he's more related to Norfolk than he is, and that's the question I pose: why introduce Norfolk in this book? or he is the enemy that they're talking about. He could be either, or related.
Really hard to tell. Really hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
So he walks around the slums in his nightgown, and nobody fucking notices, except for what I'm assuming is a hooker.
Yep.
Yeah, the one blonde chick. Yeah, the hooker.
or she's a future except that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, it's probably another
except
one.
wearing tiger print, walking through an alley. Yeah.
They ain't gonna just show this character and then have her disappear after that. I think she might have some kind of relevance later down the line. She's gotta.
No, she don't. But I mean,
it could just be them showing like they're in a terrible part of town, and this is where that activity comes from. But that'd be funny. Maybe she's like another Catwoman, like a Catwoman type character or something. That'd be interesting.
Could be.
I'd like to believe that like every decision that Eric does when it comes to like showing a certain character or doing the certain action is all intentional and deliberate, trying to set up something greater. That's why I believe that.
I would not put it past him, man. I'm telling you, like he says, he has to launch an entire universe here. So there's probably characters in here that we have no idea are even characters.
I don't put anything past him. Okay.
No.
Right.
Like I've already said, like if there's going to be any time travel whatsoever, it's going to be to introduce a character. Purely like Trunks from DBZ. That's the only way that time travel is going to play any factor in. It's not going to change anything. It's going to be to introduce a character because like Cable, everybody likes Cable from Marvel.
Right.
Everybody likes those type of characters that come to trying to change the future but get stuck. I mean, so Altona comes, meets him. He says he has an extra change of clothes in his truck, but his truck got towed.
Yeah.
And this part here was actually the kind of the second part that kind of made me realize I was reading a comic book was as he's getting out and he's walking up to his house, she's like, also your butt crack is showing.
Yeah.
So the way Eric added that in and just enough humor to kind of break it up a little bit, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But in this truck too, they're kind of going over like what they're thinking, like Darren Fontano's involved with Jasmine somehow and all that stuff. So,
and this is the interesting thing too. When I read the bit of inner monologue that Avery was having here, that's when I realized that you guys were definitely right. Avery's a pretty arrogant man, very sure of himself. Like right here, truth be told, saving Jasmine wasn't my primary focus. I almost forgot about it. That clown talked down to me, and that won't go unaddressed. I'm like, fuck, dude. He cared more about Fontano basically talking smack about him and getting his ass beat by Santamon than he does getting this mission to help out Jasmine.
You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking now that you're saying that? I'm wondering if this is a reason why Isom hung up the suit.
Probably.
I wonder if something happened where his pride got really injured, or some villain somewhere, maybe even Dokumon himself, talked down to him in a way that he just went nuts
and
accidentally either couldn't win or he accidentally killed someone he wasn't supposed to.
Well, he killed somebody on purpose in this book.
Well,
I mean,
to be fair, he was being attacked. So to be fair, I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, just like maybe it has something to do with this multi person here that we see on the front page there.
Right.
He just went nuts over being disrespected, and he accidentally killed a civilian or maybe another except he wasn't supposed to. Who knows? It's pretty interesting.
Maybe.
Yeah. And that's a good theory, for sure.
Yeah.
But Isom meets this old guy right here. It kind of looks like Bill Burr or Red Foreman.
yeah, it kind of does now you mentioned it.
Oh god. It seems like he kind of just goes over like what Avery's doing and stuff. And this here is where he sets up another plot line.
Yes.
Is right at the last end, this dude in the red shirt walks in and he has to draw his pistol because he either hears something or he thinks something's wrong, and we don't fucking know what it is until the next goddamn book.
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Yep.
Probably another exit. Or something trying to drag. Okay. But anyway, then we're introduced to these two.
Yeah,
yes.
those two.
Okay. So 2 more excerpts that are hanging out in the club.
Oh, don't forget either that Avery pretends to care about Jasmine, and he kind of asked this balding guy about her.
That's what I'm talking about. Red Foreman looking dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
that guy. Okay.
Yeah, he looks like Red Foreman from that 70s
that
show.
70s show. Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
That guy.
But yeah, then we
Dude,
get
that
introduced
place
to
is
the,
way out of my pay grade. Like, I guess that makes sense for an older guy to say if he were born in like the 60s, if he were like more of a hippie type. But I don't know, that part just kind of takes it out because he's like an older guy saying "dude." It's kind of weird for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you wouldn't really get that from a guy like him.
I mean, maybe a boomer, or but like I said, a boomer if he were a hippie. But he looks more like Red Foreman than he does a hippie. So I don't know. He just doesn't dude doesn't make sense for him to be saying.
That place is way out of my pay grade.
Yeah,
now you mention it, it does seem.
it just seems a little odd for him to say dude. But that's nitpicking grammar choices. I ain't going, especially if it's not an important character.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
This dude could have been a hippie in his young days. Who knows? But
I know. I actually work with one, so it's kind of a weird experience.
yeah. Bunch of rich bozos pretending to be rich bozos.
Oh yes,
Like
these two.
Yeah, those two.
These two here.
God, more excerpts we know nothing about.
More except we know nothing about unless we read those cards.
Yep.
Wait, okay? Tell me this: are these two in the cards?
Yes.
Indeed,
Son of a
both
bitch.
of them. So just wait till you get the cards, man. You'll get their names. They don't really reveal what the powers are yet, but
Okay, all right.
they're definitely color coded.
Like I said with the cards. Look, from what I've read of them, and I read Isom, Yara, and Santuan. Those are the 3
Yes.
I read. Because I hadn't read the book when he sent me the cards. So
Okay.
I was reading part of the book and I hadn't got to the other characters yet.
Okay.
So I read those 3, and then I jumped back to the book. But so I haven't read. I'm gonna read all the rest of them tomorrow probably. But yeah, I did look at the pictures.
Oh man, damn.
So.
But yeah, it looks like in this scene here, they're trying to set up again yet another freaking plot line.
They are setting up so many plot lines in this book.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this one here is them like trying. I think they're trying to compete maybe with Darren, or trying to steal some of his business.
Probably.
It's kind of hard to tell.
You're actually not too far off of that. Based off of what I read from the cards for these two, you're not too far off.
Well, what I said about the cards is they don't reveal too much. They do reveal some stuff that's not in the book, but they don't reveal anything really about any character that I've read about so far. It's just like it's Dokuman's thoughts on these characters is what it is.
Oh, that's
and it's kind of it's not like actual info. It's what he thinks about them.
And that's really the coolest thing is that like for being a cosmic being, Dokuman is, I don't want to say kept out of the loop, but he definitely isn't like the omnipotent type that I thought he was.
He's definitely not a watcher. He's definitely not.
Yeah,
he is kind of just
like a watcher.
He's kind of just like, oh, this seems cool. Here's a card of it, right?
Yes, exactly, dude.
He's more or less like a chronicler or something, kind of just like a documenter of like certain people.
I wish I could say that too. Like he's more of, I want to say he's a fan. Like that's how I want to put it. He's a fan of these characters, but doesn't know much more than we do.
Yeah, Brandon,
I think that's a good way of putting it.
Brandon, I bought the cards. I just haven't received them yet. That's all. That's why I'm like, hopefully for them, kind of holding off because I just haven't received them. But I did buy them. So, but yeah, dude, I gotta get my fucking hands on those cards, man.
Yeah. Joker sent me a picture of them.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah,
that's how I have a. That's how I have. I don't have copies of them. I got pictures of them.
Okay.
Wait, Dorcas, you don't have all of the cards yet,
I do. I have a picture of all the cards.
You have a picture of all the cards, okay.
Mm-hmm. Which we'll cover that in a future video once you get yours, BooRad.
Okay, sounds good.
Unless you just want a copy of them to look at.
No.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So Isom goes back into Club Merc.
Yep.
Inner monologuing. He runs into Jasmine. Yeah.
Jasmine wants nothing to do with him. Well, kinda was gonna explain it, but as soon as the other guys came, she just left immediately after that. And Isom does what Isom always does: kicks ass.
Fuck that bitch.
Let's see. Where is it? Man, do you know where you're at? I'm perfectly aware. I came here without much in mind. Thanks to you, I now have a reason to do what I'm about to do. See, that arrogance, right, is just...
Yep.
He is just radiating that arrogance.
Yeah.
I love characters like that. Don't get me wrong, especially the ones who learn over time that you are not the most powerful motherfucker walking.
Right.
And he has not learned that lesson yet after fighting Gyro.
That may be what's going to happen with Avery, yeah.
Yeah, his next line, too, he's like, you cannot... The guy who put his hand on his shoulder was like, you can't be harassing our ladies, you need to move. He's like, let me ask you something. Why is putting your hands on someone so aggressively your first instinct?
Yes, like that is Eric. That's
Dang.
Eric riding right there. Hands off the merch.
Hands off the merchandise. But yeah, he's just like, all right, I'm done with you bitches, and then he picks the guy up yet again.
It slams him into the
see
ground.
Another throat grab.
Throat
and
punch.
Just fucking slams the shit out of this guy, potentially killing him.
Yep.
Like, there's no way he could have survived that. His neck would have been broken. The back of his head would have been cracked open. His brains would probably be on the sidewalk.
His head is cracked open. His head is cracked open. Look.
Oh yeah, the
okay. So that's two people in this book he's killed already.
This dude has no qualms. Has no qualms about kicking ass to get what he needs.
Side hands this dude in the face right here.
Right. Just fucking backhands him.
Knocks both of them out. One of them is definitely bleeding there.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of walks over to these two dudes and just
Oh god, the one guy who's just like, yo, this idiot from earlier, he immediately just sucker punches him
the dude with the
7 feet.
The dude with the man bun is brothers with the guy that Isom killed earlier because they're similar looking. Let's see. And then this dude right here, just like, we have an issue out back, Yep.
Yeah, and which was actually set up in the scene with the other two Eggsepps who were planning to overthrow Darren.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was.
Which, yeah, I think that was pretty cool how that was like, there's like two things going on at the same time, which is pretty neat writing. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then everything that's about to happen is on you. All right.
Just take me to Darren quietly, then I won't have to tear this place apart. And he yells at him, and he's like, then everything that's about to happen is on you.
Yeah.
Like,
throws him straight through the door into the club.
Ladies, I suggest you take this opportunity to leave. He's like,
yep.
Quite the gentleman.
Who's this jackass?
Yeah, I know.
A very bold man who will be lucky if he can still walk after he's escorted out of here. Are you not aware of who runs this place? Oh, I'm pretty certain he's well aware of who runs this place.
He keeps
like
warning
things
him.
Don't have to get any more out of hand.
things don't have to get where I ain't. Just take me to Darren, and I won't ruin your little get together. They all go after him. They all try to fight him, and he just dogs them out. Like there's a big difference between humans and Excepts in this world. You can
dude, like Excepts know they're better than everybody.
Yes.
Just a bit shout out in this fight scene where he like literally punts one dude into a pair of guys. Like that shit was amazing when he did that. So he just throws him over the shoulder and then punts him to two other guys. Like that's like
it was like punting a little chihuahua or something.
Yeah.
I mean, regular humans do not stand a chance against the Excepts that have been shown so far.
No.
Oh hell no.
The power dynamic between them is just
it is like
ridiculous.
If you want to know what it's like, if you've ever seen like Dragon Ball Z, it is like a Saiyan versus anybody else, in the Z Fighters.
Oh yeah.
Like legitimately, it is like Vegeta and Goku versus Yamcha.
yeah, exactly. Like Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan fighting just powered up Yamcha.
Yeah, no, not even that, man. Not even that. Like fucking Goku and Vegeta can be at their base level and they still beat the living hell out of Yamcha.
Yes.
Yeah, Yamcha. Okay. yeah, Yamcha sucks. I mean, let's be real here.
So then Santuan they get a rematch.
Yep.
Oh, this right here is probably my favorite fight in this book.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty good fight.
So yeah, Santuan just comes busting in. And he's like, I thought I got you out of here. And he's like, I like this writing too. Is amnesia a side effect of your power? I ain't got to do nothing but drag you out again. And Isom's just like, then catch the street.
Antoine just basically tells him, tell the boss, check the security cam. They literally go to the parking lot. Like they're fighting like fucking two kids in the schoolyard and whatnot. It's like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah, two high schoolers or something. Like, oh, you want to meet me around the back at 3 p.m., man?
Oh
it's
man,
fucking brilliant, man. And then Avery, they're kind of going back and forth.
Well, I love this writing too. This is why you heroes often end up dead. Okay, so that tells a lot right there. That there is some dead superheroes in this world, right? Yep. People who put on the capes and they just got dominated by another Except. I like that Santuan does not like the term Except because it puts everybody. He says it puts everybody on equal ground in people's minds.
Yeah.
He doesn't
that was
like
pretty
that.
Clever too.
You know, I like that characterization in the first book. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that he hates that term?
Yeah. Really shows that your Avery's dealing with someone who truly, honestly, is. And again, I think this is where I also had another issue too. Was where this is where I think like you could swap some of the speech bubbles, and it'd sound like the same person was speaking. Like I don't have an issue with two people having the same personality type. That's totally fine. But when you write them as if they sound the exact same.
All right, so here's where I have a problem with it. Here's part of where I have a problem with the writing right here.
Okay.
So this page right here. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So it says right here, you wouldn't have to lose 3 consecutive fights for free. Where was the second one?
Oh yeah.
There was no second fight between them. This is the second fight.
Well, that's the thing is that
unless he's talking about Yara.
Oh, that
might be either he's talking about Yara or it's another fight that they may have had before. I don't think in this book this was the first time they met. It's possible.
See, I think it is. I think it is because he was confused about him being an Except.
Oh man, if he's saying 3 times, I think he could be referencing to Yaira getting his ass kicked by Yaira.
Yeah, I think so. But like I said, it's the way it's worded, right? So it's like he's talking about himself, right, the whole time, and then he goes into you wouldn't have to lose 3 consecutive fights for free. Okay, he was nowhere around the Yaira fight. He threw isom miles.
Oh, that's a good point.
So I'm just slightly. It threw me off the first time I read it, and then
unless Darkish, he is referring to this fight that they're about ready to take place in.
Well, that would be
This-
this would be number 3 for a fight that's happened in the book. But like I said, he didn't fight Isom twice. It was him throwing her into Yara. He was nowhere around as far as we could tell with the book.
Yeah, okay.
Right? They were nowhere near the same area. He threw Isom what looked like miles. Or at least a mile away. Or
half a mile, I believe.
A city block away.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what?
Might have heard. Maybe he might have heard about it.
He might have heard about it.
It could be.
Yeah, the fact that Avery landed in the hospital and it was the Alpha Corps that helped Avery get to the hospital too, because they saw that happen. Chances are word travels fast. They heard, the superpowered police got this one individual to the hospital, so maybe you heard about it. Who knows?
Of course, Santuan is all about the money. That is his characterization. He is all about some money.
Yeah,
Definitely
just whoever will
money.
pay him the most, that's who he works for.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then they continue their fight,
Mm-hmm.
and Isom does show that he's a little faster. He's got some speed to him, right there.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
So I'm thinking that, and this could just be me. I'm thinking that Excepts have to train to develop certain powers, right? Because he says he didn't train to develop flight. He trained for other stuff. So strength and speed is what he trained for. So it may just be like, instead of it being like a mutant where you have a set power, you may have to train specific powers, right, to do certain things. They may all be on equal ground. If they're like base level, may be all on equal ground, but they may be like, let's say Saiyans. Let's use Saiyans as an example instead of like Kryptonians.
Right.
Because Kryptonians, Kryptonians have a baseline power too, So Excepts may have similar powers, but they may have to train in different ways to access them. And then if they ignore one form of training, they may not can access those powers.
Right.
Because it looks like, he's trained to jump, punch, and move. Like,
Yeah. But there's another power that comes up that Isom shows off too, which I thought was like, what? And that is when during this same fight that it seems like Isom like Super Saiyan charges. Like he runs past Santuan, and then he clings to the wall. His hands start glowing, and it's like he's charging up or something. And then he shoots off the wall right into Santuan, and just knocks him cold.
Okay.
So one of two things.
That right there.
Either though the hands impacting the wall, that might just be an impact effect, or it could be that his hands are actually glowing, and he manages to launch himself. Because in the next panel, you see, that little launching streak that's behind him as well too. So either that's just like a visual effect, or perhaps it is actually something that's a power of his.
That is where his name comes from. Isometric. Okay. He is using the wall, as a jump off point to increase his speed and strength where he's flying off from. So he is using the isometric landscape, which is literally just bouncing, wall to wall, like isometric is just 3D,
Right.
You'll hear me use it a lot in D&D if you continue to play. Like I use isometric maps a lot, so so I understood it right there why they called him Isom when I saw him do that. When he sticks to the wall right there, he pushes his toes into the wall. Is what he does.
Yes.
Okay, he pushes his toes into the wall, and his hands they're touching the wall, and it's like there's some energy pushing off of it. But I'm thinking that's more of his speed than anything, like because it shows him ricocheting off the wall into Santuan into another wall.
Yeah,
right. So bashing him right through the wall too, mind you.
Yes. So it's isometric fighting is what he does. So that's where the name Isom comes from.
Okay.
At least that's my current theory now, and it kind of goes with what Ryan Kennel said with it. He said it was isometric training. I'm like, no, it's full isometric fighting. Like that is his fighting style, is using the entire environment around him.
Oh, okay.
Like it's very reminiscent of like an anime character when he does this right here. You know, where he hits the wall and he jumps off of it. It's Spider-Man does shit like this, but
yes, yeah.
But you'll see it a lot in anime where they'll hit a wall, they'll stop, and then they'll bounce back the other way.
Okay,
like it's a very reminiscent of that. And then the police come and they try to arrest Isom. After he beats the shit out of San Juan, because San Juan wasn't used to that. So
yeah, even the police were like shocked. Like they're like, "Is that San Juan? This guy must have got kicked out of Merc." And yeah, of course they tried to arrest Avery, and he's upset that
Avery runs, and then he uses more of the isometric stuff. He starts to parkour up the building.
Right.
And they're expecting him to fly. And if he could fly, why did he run? Yeah. But he's running along the rooftops. That's the easiest way to get away from it. He runs to Altona, where you find out that Altona has a daughter, and Isom is basically her father figure.
Right. Yes. Yep. Her husband died, and I was watching John Della Rose's review of this, of course, and John Della Rose. Now, again, it could be it's really just speculating at this point, but he made the mention of avoiding black stereotypes, like Altona isn't alone because the dad left. No, the dad died.
Yes.
Kind of subverting that somewhat expectation, which is.
And then Isom is stepping in as the father figure.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is
not showing that.
It is
showing that Altona isn't a single mom, basically, who, with help of a man, can raise the child.
Yes.
So I just thought that was pretty interesting.
And then, I'm not going to go into detail on those pages because they're just fluff added to it. I mean, it's very interesting, but it's at the same time, it's not as important to the story. It's just him escaping the police. Right. Then the next page is Jasmine with fucking Darren Fontano. Yep. So she's 100% down for what he's doing.
Yes.
And then Fontano is basically the opposite of Avery. He's the other side to that coin. Is what he is.
Right. Before that, Darkish, I don't know if you want to address, but Vassy actually figures out that Avery is an Except, and I'm almost wondering, is Vassy going to be an Except herself?
Could be.
For how freaking smart she is by figuring that out.
She may be like the super genius one. Like a super genius X.
Professor X or something.
I would say Mr. Fantastic more than I would say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because his power is stretching, but it's actually super intelligence. That's his actual power. Is super intelligence. His mind is able to expand as far as his body is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of those powers where he was smart before, but he was extremely smart after. But yeah, that's a good point to make there, Boorad. And then he's talking about he talks about the empire, like an empire is a state of existence. That's because it isn't about mere wealth and power. It's about control and respect. It never stops being built. But when it begins to crumble, that's basically what he's saying. When somebody can challenge you, it becomes an issue for your empire. So he's very much like a king. He's trying to build a kingpin-like status.
Right. This is where the baby gangster reference comes in.
Baby gangster,
every so often, there's a baby gangster that'll do something stupid to get his head blown off.
Yep.
Fucking punk.
Some of the art of Isom also shows him levitating rocks somewhere on the website, or at least that's what it looks like. Now that's
an interesting thing too.
Well, now that Darkish kind of explained it, I wonder if that's just him like jumping from like place to place. And if he's hitting it hard enough, rocks are kind of flying up.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about it.
That's what I'm thinking. It's part of his speed, right?
Yeah.
So
right.
he may be moving. And some of them just have him standing there and it floating around him. But I wouldn't consider any of the extra art to be canon until it's canonized.
Right. Until it's
because there have been a lot where like Isom and Yara are fighting Dokumon, and there's been a bunch of extra art by Igor, I believe, or who was it that did the? It was Igor that did the concept.
Marcos. I think it was Marcos.
Yeah, Marcos. Marcos did a lot of art for this. All right, he did a lot of fan art that some of it I wouldn't consider canon until it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot of it's just him what he thinks would be cool. So then they go. All right, so right here, they go into Isom going to get his costume back from the guy who made it.
Yes.
And I love this. Right, it's like a story for another day. They do say that. And then
it's definitely setting up another plot point.
And the guy who made his costume used to work for a wrestling league. Like, I love that, right? Like it wasn't. He went from working with wrestler costumes to working
to
with
making superhero costumes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that woman from The Incredibles.
Agna.
Agna, the suit maker and stuff. That's kind of what that reminds me of.
And he's saying how his shit expanded because of it. Right. And then he's like, "No, I ain't giving you that costume back. Not until you decide what you want from it." Like,
yeah.
Absorb ball damage. I love it. I love that line. Like, absorb ball damage. Just
also reminds
sounds
me
like
of
a D&D
Edna.
reference.
Also reminds me of Edna as well, because like when Edna gets the old Mr. Incredible suit, she's just like, "Oh, this is a horrible suit, darling. You can't run around with this." So it's like it's kind of the same thing here. It's like, I ain't giving you this shit. You need something better.
Yeah.
And then he puts the costume on, and he says it still fits.
One thing, one tiny inky dinka little criticism about that that suit. I wish the cross was a little more pronounced.
It probably will be in future books, because it changes colors.
Yes.
Is that from the fucking cards?
That has been confirmed.
It's from the cards.
God,
yep.
Damn it.
The cross changes colors, and I think
that
is
the
most that was a theory
aspect of it.
That was a theory early on, that it changed colors, right? Because there's a picture where it's black, there's a picture where it's white, and there's a picture where it's gold, and they were all three done by Marcos.
Oh yeah.
So.
God damn.
Yes.
And then we have fucking Norfolka.
Norfolka, baby.
Yes. We have lyrics to a song, which I want the whole song actually made. And they got glowing eyes while they're doing that.
Yeah, and I like how even the crowd points that out.
Yes.
Like at the end of this, like, oh my god, their eyes are actually glowing. Like, oh my god, it's so real.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's my little theory about this little bit from Norfolka.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if these lyrics, something that we're singing, I wonder if that is going to be an actual song from Backwards.
Oh man, that actually would be really cool.
I'm wondering, because he does say Backwards is coming soon, and I'm wondering if he's giving us a little snippet.
I mean, I'm hoping that we get a whole fucking Norfolk album, but I'll take a song
or something, man. Yeah,
I'll take a song.
Yeah.
Because remember when Eric said, I don't know, was it 6 months ago now, that him and his band were in the studio recording stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't come out and said exactly what it is, and now we're seeing some song lyrics in one of his books.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You hear that, Eric? You got Norfolk fans, man. Just maybe.
Yeah.
I love this right here. All right, I love the page.
Yeah. Yes.
We will win.
We will win. And their eyes they're glowing, almost godlike.
Right.
And then There they are, just fucking chilling and using fucking powers, right? But they're not Excepts. They're not Excepts. They're gods.
No. These are gods.
Yes.
These are literal gods. The fucking Norfolk poster. Oh my god.
Oh, dude, I want it right now.
The fucking band poster.
The Norfolk poster, man. That's great.
Our lyrics are not make-believe.
Yeah, and I still don't really know. I as I was reading this, I couldn't really discern what they were talking about.
Okay.
It was very nuanced.
Yeah.
And very vague. I couldn't really discern.
They were talking about somebody being back. Something being back. Okay.
All right.
So, and they're like, well, maybe we should cancel the upcoming tour.
Yep.
Oh, I wonder if they're talking about Yaira.
It's been a very long time since we've had a reason to get involved with the affairs of Earth.
Okay.
Could be Yaira. I'm thinking it's the other two, Excepts.
Oh, okay.
They seem to be more on the magic spectrum side of things than on the Except side of things. Just from looking at their basic looks. So, and then we got a preview of part 2.
Preview of part 2.
Preview of part 2.
Yep.
Respect the source material.
Source material.
And then the Rippaverse ethic. And
and
that beautiful motherfucker right there. Like
yes.
I want posters, man. I want these posters.
Yes.
Of pages.
Yaira will return.
And then we got the we hope you enjoyed it.
You know what's interesting?
Mm-hmm.
You know, on the trailer for this book, I can't remember if it was in the beginning or the middle of it, but Eric actually showed this picture of Darren Fontano.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty telling that he already had part 2 stuff already drawn up before the freaking trailer even came out for isom 1.
Yeah.
That's called planning ahead, man. That's what it's all about. This guy's definitely got
he at least had that scene drawn.
Planned ahead.
Yeah, something. But look, the fact that he had written isom 1 and then like instantaneously went into isom 2.
Yeah,
and already had some art done. Basically,
I'm willing to bet that at least isom 2 was probably already written. Like the script to it was already written beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is the ill-advised art part 2. So I'm willing to bet that it was already written there. All right, so we just went through the book page by page, roughly.
Right.
Ronin, what are your thoughts on it? The whole book.
My own thoughts on the whole book.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so let's talk about the cons or the bad or however you want to describe it. So there. I know for me personally, like when I was looking at the dialogue itself, there are parts where the dialogue does definitely flow, and then other parts where like BooRad said before, which just seemed a little strange, like the way that they had the dialogue written. But again, it's just a minor thing. I'm sure that as they continue on with the series, the writing's going to get a whole hell of a lot better. It'll just be phenomenal.
Dialogue is one of those harder things to write. I will say that.
Right, of course.
Because here's the way it goes for me. I can look past bad dialogue. I can say the Red Foreman dude saying "dude." Right, that's kind of nitpicky to me, is to tear dialogue apart, unless the dialogue just does not make sense at all.
Of course.
Right.
And of course, the one thing I will complain about, just there wasn't enough Yaira, man. Just not enough Yaira. I need me my Yaira. But for what we did see,
I need some snoo.
Yeah, but what we did see of Yaira, like I will say this, like I thought she may have had a little bit more involvement in the story, but for her showing up as she did,
see,
I actually liked it. And
Eric did not plan for Yaira to be popular.
Yeah, I don't think
he has admitted that he did not expect it.
Yeah.
He was kind of just like, here's a character that I may use in the future, right? That may be important later. She may be a villain, right? You can kind of tell, like, she was kind of written to be, like, at least on the wrong side of the law.
Right.
Yep. Yep, definitely.
And
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but that's one of mine is like the Alpha Core and Yara were not as important to the story as you would think.
Right.
Because of the covers. I've said this before. I do not like covers that are misleading to a book. Mm-hmm. Okay. I have a huge problem with, but especially if they are completely subversive to the book. These are not completely subversive, but the covers themselves are not. Cover A is now the canon cover. It is the canon cover. Let's put it like that. While cover B and C are not. they don't actually.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
I said that I liked the idea of the B cover because it seemed like something that could happen in the book. C cover, something that could happen in the book. Right. That's why I like those. But Alpha Core helped Isom. They took him to the fucking
hospital. Yep.
They took him to the hospital, man. After he got his ass handed to him by Yara.
And with B cover, even though these two did actually fight, you didn't see Yara fight in her full costume, nor did you see Avery fight in the ice.
Well, that's kind of expected. That is kind of expected for a like. I didn't expect either one of them to be in their costume, honestly, until maybe the second book.
Well, especially for Avery, because he hung up the suit and he didn't have his suit. He had to go grab his super suit and all that.
So I get that, and that was fine.
But with Yara, like, my question is, if she just got back, why the hell is she in gym attire?
I don't know, man. Like I said,
something.
That's what led me to the crazy ex-girlfriend theory. Was like she.
Yeah, like, I know.
She was in gym attire. She was coming out to whoop his ass. That's what I'm like. She's coming out to whoop his ass now that he's back on the scene. I also thought that his identity would be public, but it's not. Right. It's not well known that he was Isom. So he did not do it very long, if anything. So yeah, there's that. But my big, like I was telling TheBoorad before that we started this, my biggest complaint is the inner monologue. Okay, it's only from Avery. There is no inner monologue from any other character in it. So that puts the book 100% into Avery's mindset.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I don't like that. I don't like that in a comic book normally. I like to know other characters' thoughts that are involved in the situation. That's why part of why you read comic books is to know the character's thoughts. And I get being ambiguous about it for the first book especially. It's just that's a minor complaint that I have with it is that his are the only thoughts you could read. Instead of like Alpha Core have one line of dialogue between the three of them. And I mean they don't do shit. That's a complaint of mine. Like I would have, I mean this is just me how I would have done it. I would have not introduced the other two excerpts in this book at all. I would have waited till the next book or something like that. I would have focused more on the characters which Eric had no idea what characters were going to be popular, but I would focus on the quote unquote named characters first, as far as that goes.
Yes,
the ones you name in the trailer. I would have preferred more focus to be on those characters, and their thoughts about the situation, because keeping it ambiguous to everybody, like Darren Fontano, you don't have to have his thought bubbles because he's saying everything that he wants.
Yep.
Right.
He is like a Disney. I hate to say it, like he's like a Disney villain where he's singing what he wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just your typical bad guy. You know,
Yes.
he it's like I know I've heard people, complain about bad guys nowadays. They have to have some sort of ambiguity or some sort of
Now I like
point
it. I
maybe
like an
of
old school.
moral
turn.
grayness to it.
I
right?
do
Yes,
like.
exactly.
I
Moral
do like
grayness
an old
and
school bad guy. I love an old school bad guy.
yeah, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with Darren just straight up being
a
a
fucking villain.
Villain.
Yes.
Just actually we need that. I'm tired
Yes.
of this moral gray shit that, oh well, this event happens and all of a sudden they're good or all of a sudden they're bad. It's have them be one or the other. I don't want all this
you can
flip-flopping shit.
you can have certain characters be morally ambiguous, like
Sure.
like Yara. You can have Yara be morally ambiguous, because she's a different case. She's not a full villain, but she's not a hero, right? Because she doesn't fall into, at least she may be a vigilante, but she doesn't fall into the other hero's mindset. Obviously, like with Alpha Core, she does not fall into their mindset. So they don't like her or something like that. You don't know, but she's willing to kill a motherfucker too. Apparently, she's willing to drop a motherfucker. So she's very morally ambiguous at the moment, which is fine for a character like her. She could be the Catwoman. She could be, various other things, like that. So her being morally ambiguous is not a problem. But Darren being a full villain, I love it. 100%, I'm down for it. Right? If he becomes a hero later on, I'm going to be pissed off. But that's just me.
Yeah, and
go
even go ahead.
Go you go ahead.
And even like Santuan, Santuan seems like he's just I don't know if I would consider him morally ambiguous, or even maybe a villain. I mean, I think he just
all about
he
the
just
money.
kind of goes with the money, where the money's at.
If heroes offer him money, he will be a hero. If villains offer him money, he'll be a villain. He does. That's what I'm seeing from him. Okay. He is very much a money guy. He follows the money, and Darren Fontano has the most right now.
Right, yeah.
So, he could be one of those. He'll face turn later. I could see that happening. He could be a kind of anti-hero. Later.
Well, there is I don't want to
stop it.
Well, Darkish,
Stop
I know. Well, all right, fine. I won't say more. I won't say more.
No fucking cards right now. We're
okay. All right.
We are going to do the card. We're going to do the.
Hopefully they show up soon.
We're going to do the card video the second that BooRad gets his. Right. We're going.
As soon as you get the card, you got to get those fucking cards, BooRad. You fucking bust my balls on the book. I'm busting your balls on the card now.
Look, motherfucker, you can drive your ass down to Texas right fucking now and go yell at Eric, okay?
Well, I do
Brandon or Andrew or Radio or any of those people. Go yell at them.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, but as far as it goes, I like the book. I cannot wait to read more. I want to learn more. Right now, like I said, this is going to be the least. I've said this before. This is going to be the least scrutinized book because we're just learning the world now, and we don't know the rules yet. We don't know how the world works yet. So, as far as that goes, we can speculate on like what Yara is and what Avery is, because I don't think Avery's an accept. I don't. 100% do not think he's an accept anymore. I think he may be like a god breed or something like that, like half breed of the Norfolka.
Didn't in that scene where Avery was in the hospital and the doctor and the nurse were talking to one another, didn't they say accepts can be created?
Let me see here.
I thought that was.
If I remember correctly, I think that is what they said.
Let me see here.
Said that accepts don't just have to be born, but that they can be created through certain conditions as well too, if I remember.
Let me see.
And if
okay, Apple Core brought him in. He was dropped from the sky. Some Accept fell into a taxi cab. He didn't die. Is he an Accept too? None of our initial tests indicate that he is. That doesn't mean that he isn't.
Right.
Okay. So they have a way to tell if somebody is like an Accept. Like like Santuan. They have a way to test it. So they may consider everybody Accepts who have powers, but like Santuan was saying, he hates that term because it makes everybody seem like they're on even ground. So again, that doesn't mean that he isn't. It's not like our database consists of every single special being. Don't be fooled. He had an odd bracelet on his ankle. We couldn't figure out how to cut it off. He was not in a coma when he arrived, but he was unresponsive. Interesting. So yeah, they don't say anything about him. They say that every test that they've done says that he's not.
Okay.
And he has that bracelet that they couldn't cut off. So I'm leaning towards God. God kin somehow.
Okay.
Because we know that Norfolka are gods. They're not Accepts. Right.
Right, they're just god folk.
Yeah, they're god folk. Could be a demigod. Yeah, that's what I was saying. He could be a demigod. He could be just born from one of them. He could be like a totem type character. Like he gets his power from the bracelet.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if that bracelet thing is just like a communication device. I don't know if it holds any real special holdings in it. Because it seems to me like he just used that just to call Altona. Like that is a link between him and Projexis to his sister.
Could be.
Well, they did say that the bracelet had some kind of GPS transponder. That's how Altona was able to find Avery in the first place.
She put one on him.
What? Yeah.
She tagged his ass is what she did.
Yes, she tapped it. She wiretapped it. But if the bracelet is some sort of totem of sorts, or Isom might actually get his powers from said bracelet, but through some means, that's also an interesting thing as well. But it could also be that he is a demigod. I think there might be a chance that he's a demigod.
Like,
he's not an Accept.
Eric says
he's got to be a demigod.
Eric says all the time, like he wants to. He wonders why they never pull in African mythology, and why they race swap Nordic mythology, right? Norfolka, Nordic and Africa.
Yes, that's Takari. Takari's full on African folklore. Him and everything.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that Eric is pulling some African folklore or something that he just made up with Isom. I don't know. He may be a demigod, except have his dad. That may be his daddy. You don't know.
The guy with the dreads who flew up to turn into the green guy.
The guy with the dreads might be his daddy.
Wow. I wonder. It makes me kind of wonder. Could like Avery and Yaira be of the same ilk then?
No.
No.
So? No. Or am I digging a little too deep into this?
No.
Oh, because of the fucking.
You're asking too much, TheBoorad.
You are asking too much. You are asking for answers that we cannot give you until you have the forbidden.
I will say that we know exactly what the fuck she is.
Yes. Oh, we know what she is. Oh man. And honestly, that actually surprised me. It surprised me.
Is she a snoo snoo?
She's a snoo snoo.
She's a snoo snoo. She is a snoo snoo. She is a beautiful goddess snoo snoo. Well, the goddess thing I made up though, so don't think I spoiled anything. But yeah.
But overall, this I think this was a pretty good book. It was a pretty good opening to the whole universe. Again, just some of the writing flaws. I mean, again, it's extremely nitpicky stuff. that I'm not going to sit here and go into too much detail with. Now that I actually kind of think about it, I do think a little more context of Yaira being there in Alpha Core. I mean, although I have to say with Alpha Core, they kind of establish who they are through their actions more than their words.
Yeah.
And it seems like also they were established through the police, not the exit police, but like just the regular police saying, "Oh, this is an Alpha Core problem. Oh, we need the super police," you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And them, having the gumption to actually bring Avery to the hospital. I think it's kind of well established that they're probably the good guys. Yaira is a completely different monster. I mean, that one is very strange.
Like,
oh, man.
let's like I said, Yaira.
That's probably not even that happy.
Yaira instantly, after reading hers, like instantly jumped up on the list for me.
Okay.
Like normally, I'm gonna go with the Viper looking chick normally, because Viper looking chick is more my top. But like now it's kind of just like, all right, she threw his ass into a taxi. All right.
Yeah.
Like she's a very much fuck the police type of character. All right. I'm down.
Yep.
Like, she's.
And it's weird because it's kind of the opposite for me now at this point. I'm actually still into Yaira. I'm still into Yaira, but because of how I saw Ingrid and everything, and then reading some of the supplemental material for Ingrid, I'm just like, I'm starting to like the Viper chick a little more now.
So we've swapped. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. Yaira's still definitely up there. Yaira's definitely still up there for me. But
okay.
Yeah.
God, I need to get those damn cards.
See, Yaira's up there. Yaira's up there in appearance for him, but I'm down with the personality. Like, I'm down with that mean chick personality. Like, I dig it. So
damn. Like a little bit of, you probably like a little bit of a dominatrixism in there. Huh?
Nah, not that. I like a mean girl. I don't.
like
a mean ass woman is my type.
I think Darkish kind of likes the leather whips from time to time. Yeah.
Chains and whips excite you, huh?
I like a mean ass woman. That's all I'm gonna say. But no, like any. If you watch any media, just pick any random movie, and there is a damn mean girl in it. That is my favorite fucking character.
Mean Girls is probably like your favorite movie of all time.
Dude, I love Mean Girls. Regina George, 100%.
But this book, I really like the mystery surrounding everything right now. I really like a lot of the plot lines that are being set up, especially the one that has really stuck with me is the one of the rancher like hearing a noise and then pulling his gun and having to go in there. It's like, fuck, what did he hear?
That's what I think that Norfolk is talking about. Whatever's in that barn.
Okay.
That's what Norfolk is talking about.
Could even be Yaira. You never know. She could have been left and went and hid out there.
Yaira just ran into the damn barn now.
You never know, man. You never know. But yeah, the mystery surrounding like all of this just really has my interest peaked so high. And I cannot wait for the second book to really have not all of it explained, of course, but at least a decent chunk get explained.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to number 2. I'm definitely looking forward to number 2 for a launching pad of the Rippaverse. I wasn't disappointed. Yeah, it definitely wants me. Definitely got me to want to read more. So I'm definitely interested to see what's going to come with isom number 2.
Predictions for isom 2, go.
Isom shows
Anybody
up.
have anything?
Isom shows up.
Yes.
Meets another except. Gets his ass kicked again. like that's gonna be a theme until he gets over that arrogant shit. He's gonna get his ass kicked at least once an issue.
That's probably part of the hero's journey.
Part of his hero's journey to figure out why he keeps getting his ass beat.
Right.
I think there's gotta be a fight he goes through in the ill-advised arc that seriously fucks him up, and then after that he's like, okay, I can't be arrogant anymore, and he starts cutting that shit
No,
out.
I'm saying like 10 or 15 issues down the road before he learns his lesson. He ain't gonna learn it. He ain't gonna learn it in the ill-advised arc. He's gonna learn it in like some world breaker arc or some shit like that. Like later on, like he's gonna learn his lesson. He gotta learn his lesson the hard way.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could be that he learns his lesson when maybe Vassie or Altona get threatened really bad, maybe by Darren, maybe in this arc. I don't know. I think it's a little bit sooner.
No. See, I got to say,
you don't think so?
I got to say it's gonna be further down the line. It's gonna be, it's got to be some badass except that beats his ass. Darren is not gonna be enough to change his mind. Darren is going to. Darren is going to fix that mentality in his head. That's what I'm saying. Fighting with Darren is going to fixate it to where, all right, I'm going to do the hero thing, but I'm going to do it my way.
Oh, right? Okay. So Darren's probably implanting the seeds of.
I did the hero thing.
Reactivating that arrogance in him. And he's like, okay,
exactly. I did the hero thing last time for Mom. Now I'm. That's just a speculation. Like, I did the hero thing last time for Mom. Now I'm going to do it for me. Let's see how this goes now. Let's see if I get my ass whooped now that I got my suit on, you know. That protects me from fall damage, you know. It's just gonna implement that arrogance in his mind for a little while anyway.
Yeah, I think he'll probably just end up I think probably over the course of this arc, he'll just end up getting consumed by pride and narcissism and arrogance. I think he'll ultimately just end up getting consumed by it in this arc. And maybe who knows how even long this arc is. This whole arc could be 10 parts. Or is it only 2 parts?
I think Eric says it's 2 or 3 parts. He hasn't confirmed it. But I'm thinking that part 2 is going to end at least the Darren Fontano shit. And then they're going to move on into bigger stuff with the next 2 books. And then then number 3 may be a different arc altogether. Whatever the other 2 books may connect to it, though.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think the isom number 3 will, but...
Oh, okay. Now I see your reasoning why it could be about 10 to 15 issues down the road.
I just can't wait to see until we learn more about...
I'm also looking at Eric's favorite, like, old favorite characters, like the ones that he liked. I'm looking at them. Okay, the ones that he talks about that he likes. Right? So, think about Peter Parker. Okay? Spider-Man. Spider-Man had to learn a lesson about his arrogance. Right? Uncle Ben had to die. That didn't teach him his lesson. Gwen Stacy died did.
Yes.
Spider-Man was just like Johnny Storm until that happened.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And
when Gwen died, that's when Spider-Man flipped and changed completely. So, I'm guessing that, and I'm just going off pure speculation here. Got nothing to go off of yet. But, yeah, I'm thinking that he's going to have to learn. He's going to have to learn the hard way. And it's going to be more than just getting his ass beat. I mean, he may have to get... He's going to have to get his ass dragged.
Either that or maybe, Altona dies or Vassie. Something really bad happens to Vassie due to his negligence.
For the love of God, don't let Vassie die.
It's going to be something. Man. It's going to be something. And this is just me going off like my comic knowledge of how stories worked in the past. Right.
Okay.
Of how hero stories used to work. Now they don't work that way anymore. But... now all of them are fucking narcissists.
Yeah. Look at She-Hulk.
They're all fucking narcissists now.
God, dude.
Perfect example.
Yes. So, I would say that Eric wants this to feel like an old school comic book.
Right.
And he wants it to feel like a new comic book at the same time.
Well, I don't know what old comic books are, but for me, this is a new comic book, and...
Well...
I'm very glad I'm getting into this medium.
Like, the art style is very reminiscent of, say, New 52. Of DC New 52. It looks a little like that. To me. Which doesn't mean anything. I just happen to know, like, the stories that I like reading, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that I've read, and I've read everything from Golden Age to modern up until a few years ago. And I've read a lot. So I know what this comic book is feeling like to me, and it's feeling like a rehashing of a superhero story, if that makes any sense. Like, it feels like what it's supposed to. It's like he's coming back into what he's doing.
Right.
So think The Incredibles as an example.
I love The Incredibles.
Okay, yeah. So think The Incredibles, right? So he's coming back into what he did at one time, because that one time didn't work out. So I'm guessing that he really wasn't feeling the hero stuff in the beginning, right? His arrogance could have got him in trouble, but he didn't lose anybody because of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he never learned his lesson. He just dropped it because it wasn't for him.
And I think that kind of plays into my little theory of he might have accidentally killed someone that he wasn't supposed to,
I mean,
because just due to his arrogance and neglect.
Yeah.
You know, and then he's like, okay, maybe I'll take a step back.
Yeah. So he started doing the ranch thing, which is as far away from being a superhero as you can be.
Right.
Really, you know, he chose to isolate himself.
Just pick up a cow and move it over to another pasture.
Yeah. Exactly. But seeing the Alpha Corps, they're the superheroes, right? They are the 100% A, B, and C superheroes. You know what I mean? They follow the rules. They do what they're they do what they have. They are the Superman, the Wonder Woman. I'm not gonna say Batman for Visor Chad. I'm gonna say
Visor Chad.
Visor Chad. I'm not gonna
# Visor Man Supremacy.
There you go. But I will say that they are reminiscent of like the Justice League if the Justice League were cops. So I'm getting a lot of the Authority, only good guys. Like the Authority is a Wildstorm comic. I'm getting a lot of those feels from those guys because they're like super cops, but the Authority were horrible people. So
there's something that I'm really looking forward to that I can't spoil just yet because obviously it involves the cards. But
damn it, Ronin, stop mentioning the cards.
No, I know, but it's
killing me, Ronin.
There's more to like the world. There's more to the world apart from just like Avery and his beef with Darren Fontano and everything. But it does involve the Alpha Corps, because I have a feeling, especially with Brian himself, I have a feeling there's a whole lot of backstory to Brian that, oh God, it gives me it brings so many questions to mind for me that I really would love to see explained later down the line. It doesn't have to be during Ill Advised, obviously. It can be 10, 15, 20 issues down the line, but I definitely want to know more about what's going on in this world. Especially in Texas, especially in areas outside of Texas too. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Oh man.
Yeah. Overall, though, I'll give it a 7. 7 out of 10.
That's about what I gave it. 7.5.
Yeah.
I'll be a little bit more generous just in case Eric is watching. It's okay, Eric. I'll give you an 8 out of 10. No. Well, in all seriousness, probably between 8 and 7.5. I would say 8 and 7.5.
I'll say that it could change once we get the entire ill-advised arc.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'll be doing a whole review of it then, as you know, with the whole story involved. But at the moment, we got plenty of information. We got plenty of stuff to work on theories with, which is something I can't wait to do. Again, now that everybody's fucking theories were wrong except for the Alpha Corps being state sanctioned.
Yeah, I know. Like I know your entire narrative of Yaira being the crazy ex-girlfriend just got completely blown out of the water.
I mean, sure. She's crazy, but she's not the ex-girlfriend.
I don't think she's crazy. I think she's confused.
I don't think she's confused.
No.
I think she knows exactly what she's doing. I think she ran into a foul with the heroes. And I think that Eric's having to rewrite it now. Because he was not expecting her to be so popular.
He probably saw people were like, Yaira's awesome. He's like, oh shit, you're gonna scribble everything out now. God damn it.
So now
it's like 30 pages of work.
Square one again with Yaira.
Now we're gonna have a Yaira book because people were simping for her day one.
Yeah, as soon as that poster went up on his wall, it was game over.
Yep.
Yep.
Like, hey, who's the blue chick? Hey, we want to know more about Yaira.
Who's the chick that looks like she could smash my head with her thighs? Tell me more, please.
Yes. So. Yeah. Like I said before, I was for the Viper chick for Ingrid. Now I am 100% on board with Yaira. Because she's just that right amount of mean. Like just that right amount. So, and which is going to be kind of funny. There's going to be people that are like, I don't like Yaira anymore. Yaira's weird, but I'm down for it.
I like getting stepped on.
God, I'm sorry. Let me just fanboy a tiny bit. Eric liked my post on Twitter where I was showing off my I Want It All bundle.
Yeah.
I feel special. I'm in the big leagues now.
but did he retweet it though?
He retweeted my other post where I was like, I finished reading through volume 1 of isom. He retweeted that one. Yeah. Yeah, suck on that, bitch. You're not the only one that's getting attention, BooRad. Yeah.
Have you gotten multiple shout-outs in videos? No, I didn't think so.
You shout-outs whenever I donate.
I don't have to give him money.
Neither do I. I get shout-out for memes, man.
Neither does Flash.
Oh, yeah, Flash. Yeah.
Like...
You want shout outs, Ronin? You give me money. That is simple as that. Let me see that money. Let me hold that money.
BooRad, Darkish, y'all are good. Y'all are good.
Well, all in all, yeah, it's a good book. It doesn't say doesn't have to say so much. If you ask me, it just has to say enough to grab your attention. That's what I think. At least it just has to say enough to grab your attention. And I know at least for me, it's grabbed my attention, and just that tease with Norfolka as well. It's like you definitely grabbed my attention. So I would say 8 out of 10. And this is me being genuine about it. I'd say 8 out of 10. Like I actually liked it. Fight scenes were pretty good.
The fight scenes are great. I like the fact that I'll say most of the combos that Avery uses are actual fighting combos. Most of the things that he does are actual.
Punting people into one another like a chihuahua. Is that an actual fighting combo?
If you have super strength, it is. But no, like they shows him boxing and it shows him dodging out of the way and stuff like that instead of taking every punch that gets thrown at him. Like
yeah.
I mean, Yaira's faster than him, so. She proved that she's faster than him, so...
she's faster than freaking Alpha Core.
She's faster than him, and she's stronger than him.
Right.
So, he was outclassed by her. Like, that's like somebody else trying to fight Superman. It really is. It's like, like any random... I'll say Avery's probably a 2-toner. He's probably not a 10 class character yet. At least from what's been shown. He's probably around 2 tons or 1 ton of strength. 2,000 pounds roughly of what he can do. just from what he's shown, like punching the dude in the heart and exploding, and just like, I mean, that's some Deathstroke shit, is what that is. But I'll say, yeah, I'll give him 2 tons of strength, and then Yaira's probably like 100 class, if I had to guess. Like, she outclasses him so much.
I won't say Yaira's a planet buster. I don't think by any means she's a planet buster. Yeah, I think she could definitely lay waste to a city if she wanted to.
Well, I'm not saying like no, 100 class is not a planet buster. 100 class means that you can lift 100,000 pounds. You can lift 100 tons. Is what that means. Mm. So I'm going to put her in the 100 class category until we know more. Just from what I've seen, she's super fast. She's super strong. She outclasses Avery way more than Santuan does.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like, way more. Like, Santuan is probably double Avery's strength. Mm-hmm. Okay? But he put all of his into strength. Every bit is muscle. Instead of speed and skill, which Avery has. So, speed and skill are going to outclass somebody who's physically stronger 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, if Santuan wouldn't have just caught him off guard and tossed his ass in that first fight, Isom would have won that. The first fight. He was blinded by his arrogance in that first fight. That second fight, he was ready for Santuan. So, I will say that he's probably twice what Avery's strength is, but nowhere near on the same class.
You know, now that I think about it, and I actually have a Yaira background as my desktop background. And hang on, let me see, which one is it? Oh, it's this one here. Okay. I have the couple that Marcos made. One where it's Isom, Dokuman, and Yaira fighting and stuff. And I happened to look at it one day, and I noticed that on Yaira, her eyes are glossy, like teal color. Mm-hmm. And she's got these, like, rock things coming out of her.
Yes.
Like, I saw that, and I'm like, is that her Super Saiyan form?
Oh, man, dude. Oh, the theories.
Shut up, Ronin. Shut up, Ronin.
Yeah, I'm not trying to mention that. I'm just saying, oh, God, the theories on that.
Like, I saw that, I'm like, hold up. Is she at, like, max fucking power right here when she's fighting this guy? Because to have these, like, rocks come out of you, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So, this is probably laid out in the cards, isn't it? The awkward silence.
If we answer anything, it tells you. So.
Okay. All right. I'll just keep speculating.
If we answer anything, it tells you. I mean, I'll send you the Yaira card if you want. I'll send you a copy of it if you want to look at it.
No, I want
so that we can have this discussion.
I want it so bad.
But yeah. So.
But yeah, I just happened to notice that. I'm like,
I will say this just because Eric has confirmed it in one of his videos.
Okay.
That he confirmed it for Krista Nova, basically. Is that the eyes and the hair are part of her power.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's pretty interesting.
That's only because Eric has already confirmed that. He confirmed it for Krista Nova in a Friday Night Tights, I believe.
Okay.
So I will confirm that. Or Tuesday Night Main Event. It was one of the two. But Krista was on there with them. And he confirmed that because she asked him. And it was right before the convention.
Oh. Okay.
So he did answer the hair and the eyes had to do with her powers. It was either right before or right after. I don't remember. I think they were talking about how it was after because they were talking about how her contacts set off the costume.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that is part of her power, and I'm only confirming that because Eric has already confirmed that before the book came out.
Right, right.
As far as the crystals or the rocks, whatever the hell you want to call them, coming out of her. I saw that on one of Marcos' pictures as well, and I'm like, I wanted to talk about it in a video, but we got sidetracked in one of them. Like, I forgot what the hell happened, but I want to say it was that one I did with Quirky. It's supposed to be an isom versus Yaira debate, and I won that one. I said Yaira was going to win. I did win that one. So, because I'm like, she just looks like she's on a different level than him.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
Like, she 100% looks like she is on a different level than he is. So, and then the two Norfolka guys are they're on their own level.
The one guy just fucking floats up, crosses his legs, and just turns green and starts saying some shit. It's like
to quote Black Widow from the Avengers, these guys are from the stuff of legend. They're basically gods.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Those guys are on a whole other level, right? Because they're the types that haven't even gotten involved with shit until recently. You know, they're like, fuck this accept bullshit. Like, they're not worth our time. Whatever the fuck we're talking about right now is worth our time.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they might have involved themselves in some way, shape, or form long ago. I mean, they around on Earth for thousands of years.
They did say that it's been a long time since they interacted, since they done
exactly, yeah. So, and then ever since then, they just figured, let's start a metal band.
But I'm saying that, like, the demons that they're talking about in the song, our lyrics are not fake.
Yes.
Right. So that tells me a lot right there. Like, their lyrics are what they've done. It's like, you ever played Alan Wake?
No, I haven't had the chance to.
Oh my god, play those games. Play that game. All right, you want to stream some shit, man? That's what you stream. All right,
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake. Okay, so there's a band in Alan Wake, and it Poets of the Fall actually do the music for it. But there's a band within the world called Children of the Elder Gods. And so every song that they sing has to do with the world, right? And what's happening in the world. So, and then they're nowhere near a metal band. They're like, it's kind of like a classic rock, like an old rock band, old metal band, not a new metal band. But, it kind of gives me the vibes. Is what their music is anyway. Not
right.
Their lyrics are real, so that tells me a lot right there. That they hunt demons. They hunt something from another plane. They may be talking about Dokumon. They may be talking about whatever the fuck's in Avery's barn, which ties them to Avery because they're going to show up there. You know. Maybe how they get involved with Avery. And I don't know that they will or not. They might not ever fucking meet. But I'm thinking that maybe whatever's in that barn hunts down, we'll say godlings. Demigods. What I'm thinking Avery is. So they might... Because why are they not fucking with the other X-Septs? Why are they showing up in Avery's barn of all places? If that's even what it is, it could just be some fucker trying to steal shit.
Right.
You know, it is a fucking ranch. I don't know. You know, there's always some damn meth heads somewhere.
had to put in a little bit of that property right stuff. You know.
Some fucking crackhead coming in trying to steal one of Avery's cows.
It was probably that. It's probably that blonde chick, that prostitute that was walking by Avery. It's probably her waiting for Avery.
Oh god.
She just peeks her head out, nice, and then just slowly goes back in.
some fucking crackhead. That's all it is. Either a crackhead or a demon. There's no in between for it.
Crackhead demon. That's what it is, man. It's a crackhead demon.
No, that seems too comedic for the situation. So I'm thinking it's either a crackhead breaking into the barn for the property rights, you know, that property rights stuff, or it's a demon breaking into the barn for that property right stuff.
Right.
I mean, if it could be...
Wouldn't that be some shit if he set that whole thing up and it turns out it was just like a chicken moving around or something?
Oh man,
I mean,
fake
just
out
imagine
bullshit.
that.
I mean, and there's always the chance that, you know, Eric calls Eric throws the word demons around a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
he does.
he throws the word demons around a lot when he's
literal demons.
when he's referring to specific groups of people. So, what if that's what they? I mean, I know that the book's not going to go political, so we don't have to.
Right. Yeah, right.
But it's just me joking right here, guys. So don't take this seriously. But what if that's what they're fucking hunting?
Oh God. Like Eric would just shoot up right there on the list of amazing dudes in Army. I'm just saying, man. Like as based as he already is right now, god damn, he just fucking skyrockets up there.
but here's the thing though. Do those guys believe in private property rights?
Oh man, now that's the ultimate question right there.
You mean Norfolk? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Norfolk, yeah.
They could just like phase in and out of his property if they want to.
Yes.
Like,
or just walk through the fucking door.
It would actually be like really hilarious. They like land on the edge of his property and they're like, "Hey, can we like step on here? We don't mean to like trespass."
No.
No, we're just trying to pay respect.
Like this was our property first.
Yeah.
This was our property first.
Yeah, we created Earth. So we're just here to reclaim what was already ours.
You're standing on our property no matter where you go.
It just zaps him, just turns into dust or whatever.
Oh,
like
God.
no more isom books. Just like
yep, isom's just gone.
Hey, you broke the non-aggression policy. Zap. All right, we're joking now, guys. It's all jokes right here.
I mean, well, on that note, obviously, I do have to actually get some sleep because I got to get ready for work tomorrow.
Yeah,
but,
so do I. I got to go open in the morning.
Yeah, this is a good shit on on this.
Ronin.
What?
TheBoorad, get your cards. Ronin.
No
more spoilers till he gets his cards.
I ain't saying shit. I'm dipped up. 100%.
Mike,
you are now blocked on all social media. And I'm following you from
all right now.
But
all right now.
Yeah, definitely can't wait for more.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Me neither.
Because if the first book is a 7, I'm waiting on that 10 to drop.
Eric's saying that this book isom 2 is going to be better than isom 1. So.
Good. That's what I want. I want every book to be better than the first. Every book to be better than the last. That's just, keep improving it. That's all I have to say is keep improving it. And I'm down. I'm down for it. This whole channel is dedicated to that universe. I'm down. I'm down for it for the long haul.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to buy every fucking book that comes out.
Yeah, now that I know what I'm getting into, like, the money cannon is being loaded as we speak.
Yep.
And from I'm gonna try from here on out to get the everything bundle, so I don't have to worry about this shit again.
Same fucking here, man. Oh, okay. The future Dokemon cards will be mine.
Don't make.
I will find some on fucking eBay at some point. I will find.
Just be like being fucking splurge. Just be like being splurge on day one. Even if you can't pay your bills.
Even if you go broke and end up in the street, but you got your isom everything bundle.
Hey, I managed to get this just because it came. It was my birthday. Like my birthday was 2 days before the shit was released.
Nice.
Like the campaign started, and I'm like, okay, all right, I know what I'm getting for my birthday. I was gonna get a signed copy, but then I'm like, no, I'm going to wait until I get to Anime Matsuri.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have him sign it there.
Nice.
And I don't care if this book is ragged. Right. by that time, because it may be. It may look like. Hopefully, it doesn't look like my Marvel 1602 book.
I can only imagine what that looks like.
I could probably show you. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing this one. Yeah, I remember seeing the 1602.
So this thing has been through hell. I just want to.
Oh my god!
It's seen better days.
This thing has been through literal hell. All right, so like.
Oh my god!
Like literal hell. Like the spine is fucked up. The back is fucked up.
Yeah, look at it. It's like missing some of the words.
It is missing some of the words.
Oh my god!
You can't even turn this fucking page right here without ripping it.
That I would have to burn it.
Shit has been spilt on this. I mean, it has not had a good time.
I would have to burn it and then get a new one.
Oh no!
There's no way I'd be able to keep that.
I gotta rearrange some shit in my room just so that way I can properly put these isom books away.
But then if you look at my Sandman books, they're all in perfect condition. Like that one's just been through hell.
It's Marvel. Who gives a shit?
Exactly.
Yeah, at this point. Marvel, as of today, does not exist in this dojo. DC does not exist in this dojo.
Like I said, they only exist in two ways. One in the negative, when we are talking about it in, if we're talking about something in the guild. They exist in the negative. And old Marvel and old DC only exist as comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, until we have more information about the world to fully base it off this world. Right? Yeah. So, and I'll use, like, the power comparisons, mainly. Like, the class system. 1 through 100. Right? So, if I say 100 class character, you're not going to have to ask what I mean by that. I'm saying it's the old metric for old comic books. 100 class is 100,000 tons.
Right.
Or 100 tons, sorry. It's 100 tons is what they can lift. So 1 class is 2 tons. 0 class is anything from 0 to 1 ton. So if any numbers that I throw in there between 1 and 100, you know what they mean. If I say class. And that's just an old way of talking. That's old class system.
Okay.
I don't use the Marvel metric of fucking measuring a character's power. I don't use the new DC metric of measuring a character's power. It's for when I'm talking about strength, I'm talking about 1 to 100. When I'm talking about speed, I'm not measuring it. I'm measuring it in, do they move faster than light? Do they move faster than, just general terms, like how fast do they move? 750 miles an hour. Okay, that's slow. Right? That's slow for a superhero. Mm-hmm. Do they move at 30 miles an hour? That's faster than peak physical human conditioning. Right. That's faster than the fastest human athlete. Is 30 miles an hour. So, peak, are they at Olympic level? Are they higher than Olympic level? Are they better than the best physical human athlete that has come out? Because, so I'm going to use Batman here. Batman is peak physical human conditioning. Okay? Batman is faster, as fast as any peak level athlete. He's as strong as the strongest man on earth. That's a normal human. Okay, so if I use those metrics like that, I will use those, but I'm not going to use, I won't even compare Isom to Luke Cage anymore, because I've seen what he can do. He is kind of got a weird power set, if it's kind of a normal power set, while being weird at the same time. So, I want to see where it goes. He's faster than he is strong, I'll put it like that. and he's stronger than he is durable. If that makes any sense. You know, he's faster than he is strong. He's stronger than he is durable. He has zero luck. Like, whatsoever. He has no luck.
Yeah.
And he's arrogant as fuck. So,
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
you know. I can make these same comparisons with anime characters and stuff like that, too. But sometimes, like, Ingrid being like Spider-Man using her whips as a method of transportation is a good example of a Spider-Man, you know, or Black Widow, you know, Catwoman even.
Right.
You know, it's a good metric to base it on, but that's really going to be the only way I base any kind of metrics on it is, like, can they do this compared to what you see? What happens off panel? Stuff like that. That's what I'm going to be talking about. And the theories are going to start rolling in again, just not like every day like I was before. I can't do that.
Right.
Again.
Yeah.
So I may set up a Friday night thing like I did tonight to do a video after the guild, because the rest of my week's pretty full up right now. But
all right then.
Yeah, so we may, if y'all want to do some theory videos or talk about more shit when we get revealed, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that Friday nights if y'all want.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Yep, same here.
All right, well, we're going to end for the night, guys. Thanks for joining us, those of you that did. And, yeah, these abs, yeah. This was our discussion. It was more of a discussion than a review, really. But it was, yeah, pretty in-depth, I would say. Without spoiling too much of what was said in the book and what was shown in the book. But, yeah, y'all have a good night, guys. We will see y'all again. It'll probably be Thursday, just in all honesty. But peace out, guys.
Later, y'all.